It's me, Jenna, from the White Witch Parlor, and today I want to talk about familiars and pets in Magic. Some of you that follow my social media accounts may already know that I actually lost one of my pets about last month, and she was with me from the time that I was 21. I adopted her. She was already 4 to 5 years old, and when I was living out in Los Angeles, she came into my life, and it was this perfect communion between me and her. We had such a strong bond, and sadly her long life finally came to an end, and she was no longer needed in my journey or her own, so it was time to lay her to rest. So that is what we had to do last month. And before that time came, I had considered doing a video about familiars and pets for a couple years now, and I just never quite made the time. And I feel like now that that chapter in my life has, in a sense, run its course, I should speak on it, because it's a really powerful thing in your life to have pets. Pets come to us in a somewhat of a divine contract, and they choose us when the time is right. Familiars can come in so many different forms. It's not just dogs or cats. It could be birds or hamsters or fish or any kind of animal that just truly speaks to your soul and you feel like you have a really deep bond with. When the animals choose to come into our lives, they choose to help heal us and grow themselves. And we're all one, so we are connected with every single animal and insect on the planet, but there are these once-in-a-lifetime soul connections that we have with our beloved pets that help us not only transform in our magical ways and our journey in life, but it helps to heal and grow our own soul. So we learn and adapt, and they're always there with unconditional love to heal us as well when we're going through different motions in our own life. This unconditional bond goes two ways as we give them love and lots of hugs and kisses, and they return that favor without ever judging us. This beautiful bond I got to experience with my beautiful little honey bear. She was a terrier mix, and I had her, like I said, since I was 21. I am now 33, and she was with me from the time I lived alone in Los Angeles to the time I met my husband. And she got to experience me being pregnant and seeing our son Benjamin, which was my only thing that I ever asked of her, was that I wanted her to be around to meet our son. And she went above and beyond because she was around for 3 years after, or almost 3 years after he was born. So she had so many moments to play with him and love on him, and it was just really special to see those two interact together, because when I first adopted her, I never thought that I would have her as long as I did to be able to witness my child, which was completely mind-blowing when they first met. She was so loving to him, and they also had a really unique, special bond as well, and that bond for me carried through with him, so that was a beautiful thing to see. We also have another dog named Hazel, and she is only 10 years old right now, so she still has a long way to go. Honey was about 16 when she passed, so she did live a long and very joyous life. She got out as much as she could, and so that's kind of the bond that we have with our pets, and the sacred energy that we share between them is really special. So I want to talk more on the magic of pets and the magic that they bring into our lives and how they contribute to our own magic workings, because I'm sure you've heard the term familiars used in magic, which often are referred to as cats, but not everyone bonds with cats. And I, for one, some people may say, oh, you're a witch, you're supposed to have a cat. That's not necessarily true. I find cats everywhere I go. They come up to me, we spend special moments, but like my husband always says, I am a cat. I have the energy of a cat, and I really bond with cats, and I love seeing them and having moments with them, but I personally just have never grew up with cats, and I think that's why I have always had a stronger connection with dogs. And that can go with anybody. Some people have a stronger connection with birds over dogs, or any other which way you can spin it, but that's how each signature on our soul collaborates with the spirit animal in the spirit world. So with that said, I want to note that animals carry a special soul contract to help heal and grow our own souls as well as theirs. They help us to evolve our soul through their teachings of unconditional love. When we choose to incarnate, many different plans and contracts are falling into place, and often many of those contracts fall into the category of animals. Many lessons are constantly falling into place for us so that we can consciously grow and interdimensionally shift into a higher state of awareness. This doesn't only transcend with ourselves, but through the universe as we are experiencing the world, and we are the eyes for the universe. I often say that Earth is a master class, and this is how we evolve. It is like you take a course in school and you get higher and higher up in the rankings until you can graduate, and that is exactly how I view each incarnation here on Earth. I'm sure many of you have heard of soul families or soul family trees, which go into mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, all incarnating as different basically roles in our lifetime. So a previous life we may have been the mother to our son, and then now our son is our father, and it changes each role, almost like different plays or scripts from a movie happening, and you have each person fulfilling a new role. And this is how we each grow and learn from one another, because now we get to try on someone else's shoes. So if you were the father in the last time, you might be the daughter in this lifetime. So it changes, and this role also happens with our beloved pets that fall into our lives. Animals are part of our soul family tree, and they play the biggest role of all, and that is unconditional love. They remind us how to love unconditionally, not only others but ourselves. They bring endless emotional support through all of life's ups and downs, and they do it without 1 ounce of judgment. They are the angels and guides living here physically on this plane with us to help guide us through our journey and our path. It is said in the spiritual world that many animals carry an Arcturian soul, which is a soul of pure love and healing. Because they offer this energy to us, they also absorb so much of our pain and anguish as well as our happiness. But they are the true empaths, and they do really help to heal us, because when you're ever sad, you will notice that your pet will come up to you even if you're not crying. It's just an energy that you're giving off. If you're lonely feeling or angry, they always come to you and they sit next to you, and they're doing this because they're trying to absorb some of that pain that you're radiating off, and so that they can help neutralize the energy that's surrounding you. This is why many hospitals actually offer comfort animals, because people who are sick or going through immense turmoil or pain, they have the animals, usually dogs or cats, circulate throughout the hospitals, and they bring so much comfort and healing. And it's said too that when someone is actually going through a serious illness, pets can help heal them, not only because they offer the emotional support, because they are actually absorbing some of that discomfort in our body, and they dispel it naturally because they're always walking around barefoot as well. So they're constantly grounding themselves and connecting to Earth's healing energy. Animals have this amazing capability to transmute any of this lower vibe energy that's coming from us into a really high vibrational energy, because they do this since they don't have egos that are tying them down and weighing them down. They are able to easily release pain and anguish, unlike many of us humans. This beautiful selflessness that they offer us helps us to evolve and move past these obstacles or hurdles in our lives. These low points in our lives are what are meant to teach us, and so that we can grow stronger and wiser. But it is so much more comforting when we have that emotional support nearby. After all, the goal of each lifetime is to expand your awareness, but why not do it with a little bit of comfort and love on the side? There is a multitude of agreements between two souls, being the humans and animal souls, and we gather so much knowledge from one another, and we bounce off energy from one another constantly. This provides our pets with the energy of unconditional love, and it teaches us how to give that energy freely. It can really make your head spin when you start to consider how many contracts come into play in your lifetime. There's so many connections between so many animals and insects that we encounter daily. It's not just with your pet, but it's the bird that's singing outside or kind of being annoying. You don't think of it at the moment, but you don't realize that it's actually a lesson. How can you breathe through this annoying woodpecker that's pounding at the tree outside? How can you learn from this experience? The same comes with a spider. How can you learn to not smash that spider and instead take a moment to help it get outside and take a lesson from it as well? So from the spiders that spook you, or the garden snakes that come out of the bushes while you're gardening, or the lost dog or stray dog that wanders up to you, each of those encounters was meant to be, and there's a lesson in every single one of them. How is it a lesson? Because it is present moment, and the present moment is a gift. Because each present moment is a gift for you to unwrap. And within each of those gifts lies a lesson. So that spider that keeps coming to you over and over and over again, how many times will it come to you until you learn to stop killing it and instead catch and release it? The lesson that the spider might be bringing you is patience or compassion. Is with every moment that comes to us, the universe responds to us with the way we react to that moment. So be very aware of how you react to each situation. And the main lesson is to always find your way back to awareness. Going back to familiars and the pets that choose you, when they choose to enter your life and exit your life, know that it's all within divine timing. Free will allows one to live their life as they choose, but trust that when that stray animal or your familiar chooses to come into your life, that is meant to be. And when those paths cross, know that there is a bigger message about to unfold. It could be only over the course of a few months, or it could be years. So know that when your familiar finds you, you will be ready and your soul is about to evolve for the better. Also know that some animal souls play a much larger role in our lives than others. Even a small encounter can leave a big impression, and so some animals might be in your life for just 1 to 2 years and leave the biggest mark on your heart in a good way. They could have helped you really get through some of the darkest moments in your life, or just bring some of the happiest moments all together. The pets we have in our lives are doing a huge job. They're helping us to shift into a higher awareness and really helping us to raise our vibrations. Many pets that come into our lives as familiars, we have a really strong connection to, and often a psychic connection with as well. You will know when your pet needs something. You will feel it. It is almost as if you are communicating telepathically. It's beautiful to watch children interact with pets because they do actually have that stronger connection, in the sense that many children have not closed off their natural psychic abilities yet. So they do communicate to pets very frequently and very easily, compared to how many of us adults tend to block out our psychic abilities, and we lose that sense of connection. So when you have a pet, you learn how to heal that third eye and heal that psychic intuitiveness and really reconnect with it. So yes, it is overwhelming to consider how many insects and bugs and animals that we encounter on a daily basis, even things from wasps buzzing around your hair, creating this internal fear. Why are you fearing the wasp or the bee that's buzzing around your head? Breathe through it, learn from it. If you get stung, what is that lesson that you're meant to be learning from it? And that is the beauty and vastness of our observable universe. There's so much going on that we cannot see right in front of us, so we have to be mindful and find awareness in all moments. For each moment is bringing a lesson, and this is the lesson that the animals bring to us. Familiars and animals are our greatest teachers, and because they are derived from nature just like us, they remind us to return to nature as well. And if you watch in the wild the way all sorts of animals intermingle and mix, it is proof that we are all able to coexist peacefully together. Sometimes the animal lessons that we get can be very obvious, from a dog that's barking constantly next door that you can't quite get to calm down or be quiet while you're doing your most important work at home. But that is when you're supposed to stop and take note of this and find awareness. What is this dog barking about to get your attention for? How can you grow from this interaction? Is this barking dog trying to teach you to be louder yourself and speak your own truth? Or is it trying to teach you how to be patient? Maybe the barking dog is restless and just trying to get attention from someone who will give it love. Because we subconsciously are putting out messages into the universe all the time, this barking dog that won't quite stop barking down the street that you hear all day long is probably a message from the universe to work something out within yourself. And it isn't until you fix this problem within yourself that barking dog down the street will finally find silence. Because when you fix these things within yourselves, that contract for the lesson that that dog down the street was bringing will finally be closed and fulfilled. And the next thing will happen is that the universe fulfills its contract, and suddenly that dog's owner might move and take the dog with it, or the dog just changes locations and suddenly you don't hear the barking dog. These lessons will keep continuously coming to you until you fix that energy within yourself, and it will change around you as well. Like the phrase, as within, so without. This is how the universe is constantly providing us with tools and guidance if we find awareness. The universe works greatly through the power of animals because we can physically connect with them. Many of us are so blind to these messages that something will be repeating for years before we finally get it and it clicks within us, and we can change that energy so that the energy of how the universe is presenting itself to us will finally stop. This is how we usually cannot see what's really in front of us because we are blinding ourselves to it, or we go so much into autopilot that we don't realize these messages have been being delivered to us all this time. Every time you evolve higher within your soul, it is as if you've reached another level of you, and you get to really evolve and experience more of what the universe can offer. So pay attention to whatever animal is making the loudest noise to you. That animal is trying to deliver the biggest message. So next time you feel lost, or you're not sure what spiritual path or journey you're supposed to be focusing on, pay attention, because those animals are delivering the messages. And the ones that keep coming around you the most have the lesson that you're supposed to work on. Familiars tend to show us these lessons through repetitive actions. They do this through maybe the commands that you're trying to offer them that they're not quite listening to, or a problem that they're getting themselves into that's causing you to stress out, and it's something that you can't quite take control of. Find awareness in that, because that's what you're supposed to change within yourself. It could be also as simple as the unique way that your animal plays with you. Maybe that is what will bring you the most happiness as well. There's an unlimited combination of things that are constantly presenting themselves to you. You just need to find awareness and pay attention. Our animal friends have so much to teach us about true unconditional love. And when you finally reach that true unconditional love state of energy and vibration, that is when you can finally graduate the master class. So I leave you with this: love and respect all animals, because they are all an aspect of you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of your animals and pets. They love you so much more than you could ever comprehend. That unconditional love is the biggest lesson that you need to learn from them. So keep loving, keep healing, and keep finding joy in every single thing you do, even in the hardest moments. I love you all so very much. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Bye.